I feel much better in a helicopter.
Well, there's flying, you know. There's also flying dinosaurs.
Yeah, them flying dinosaurs ain't gonna fuck with no helicopter.
Oh, they will.
So where the heck did the Mosasaurus go?
We'll give it to everyone.
Well, clearly. The guy's dead now, so.
Well, baby, they could easily bypass him and just go to the company. And he would still be.
Yeah.
It's not like he's the only gatekeeper.
He offered us 50 million. So.
Those are dolphins. Those are dolphins. Not a Spinosaurus. I'm still mad that I haven't really seen a dolphin. I've seen it once. So we're gonna take this whole life boat all the way back to land.
Conclusion of Jurassic World Rebirth, and I thought it was a pretty good movie, man. I mean, I was pretty bored with the last three. I mean, it was just my own preference on there, you know. I mean, I thought it was okay. The last three, I thought the first one of the last three, I thought was entertaining, and then the second one and the third one, I ain't really care about. But this one, I found myself, I was interested from the beginning to end. I thought the pacing was pretty good. I thought they gave us a lot of dinosaur danger situations. I thought the cast was good. There was a lot of dumb things that happened in there, obviously, just to move the story along. But you know that's intended. Only one thing I didn't like about it is that Scarlett Johansson, they didn't really make her. It didn't show me why she was a badass, why she was the one to pay $10 million to. The rest of the crew, yeah, I can see, right? They let's get it. But I mean, I get it that she was fearless and she can shoot. But other than that, there's really wasn't a whole lot to be like, oh yeah, that's why she's worth $10 million to get me in here. Because there wasn't her boat. She got a friend that got the boat. And that's really it. But she did survive all the way to the end. Shout out to Mahershala Ali. Look, he did his thing. He survived to the end, which I thought he was gonna die. I thought that was a sacrifice right there, but he made it. Everybody else that probably needed to die did die, and so you know that's just what it was. I thought the dinosaurs were crazy looking. I thought it was a good concept that the island was rejects, and so it made for a good story. Whoever made it up, I'm like, yeah, you got a solid one right here. You can go with that. Now that we have all three things back, how do you make 3 movies out of this? Right? I think you don't. I think that's it. I don't know what else you can do at this point with the dinosaur island that's already dying. And I also did like the concept of dinosaurs in the city, which they did that a long time ago before too. But they were terrorizing the city. But this one, they just like, it's fucking up traffic all day.
Well, they're dying.
Yeah. And you just have to be stumbling with a big ass brontosaurus, and you just, what can you do about it? If it fell on your house, it'd be crazy. It's like, well, what can you do? But I thought it was a pretty solid movie, man. I was not bored at all. So I thought it was really good. So thank you guys again for picking it.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that we've been wanting to see, so it was one of our top 3 that you guys voted on, so appreciate you guys putting this through. Listen, I know there's a lot of criticism about all the Jurassic Park movies outside of the first one. I am the least critical person when it comes to these movies because I love them so much. The first movie just got me, and after that I was obsessed with dinosaurs. So I love them so much. There's not a lot of things that you can do wrong. I've liked every single movie. I've watched every single movie multiple times. So I'm not the person to be critical. So you're probably not going to like my review of this movie. I will start with the one thing I didn't like. I did not like D-Rex. I thought he looked like alien. I felt like he was it was very alien-y. It didn't feel like a dinosaur. Even the way that he moved, it almost felt like a what is that word for Pacific Rim? What are they called?
Kaiju?
It was like a kaiju. It wasn't a dinosaur.
It was a kaiju.
It was a kaiju. It was not a dinosaur. It didn't feel dinosaur-y at all to me. It felt very alien. And that took me out. So the last part of the movie, I didn't really enjoy, specifically because I didn't like what that looked like. I didn't like what it looked like. I think that it removed itself completely from the Jurassic Park world. And I just didn't like what it was. I didn't like how that played out. But again, I think they might have known that we weren't going to like it, because they made that part, which would typically be a much longer part, and which has always been a longer part in the rest of the movies. When you finally get the big baddie, it's usually like a good portion of the third act, and this was cut down to like maybe 10 minutes of the movie, which definitely benefited my movie-going experience, because it's my least favorite part of the entire movie. As far as the things I liked, I thought it's very brilliant, the science, as far as constructing the fact that the world is killing off all the dinosaurs in areas where dinosaurs wouldn't thrive, where it's not the same environment, it's not the same ecosystem. I just like that aspect of it, and I feel like that's very science accurate as far as introducing, a species that has been extinct over, how many millions of years, that they would die off. They wouldn't be able to exist. Comparing that to why time travel wouldn't work, why we can't go back in other times we wouldn't be able to exist. It would kill us off because there's bacteria and things like that we couldn't resist. So I thought the science of that, and seeing that happening, and there's much fewer dinosaurs, and there's only one area now where dinosaurs can essentially coexist because it's the most similar to what it was like when they existed. I appreciate that. I thought the science of that was really good. I think the evolution of, where we started with Jurassic Park to where it is now with them all being out in the world made a lot of sense, and I appreciated that specific fact. Additionally, I thought having an island that's set apart from everything else, where they were doing crazy experiments, makes sense. It is very aligned with everything that we've seen in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World about trying to push the envelope of what makes an interesting monster, an interesting dinosaur, and all the dialogues that we've seen with Mr. Kim about how you guys didn't want regular dinosaurs. If you wanted regular dinosaurs, none of the dinosaurs we made would look like this. We had genetically change them so that they could be scarier and bigger. So I think having a movie set aside to showcase all the mistakes or all the freaks, I think was very smart and made very much sense, and I appreciated that. And I thought all the evolutions of the mixes of the dinosaurs we saw leading up to D-Rex, again, which I hated, all were good. All of those were cool. It was fun to try to identify what they were mixed with, knowing that we've seen all the iterations of dinosaurs leading up to it. I think being a fan of the movies, having seen all the movies multiple times, trying to identify what they were mixed with is a cool thing for a fan of the movie to do. So that I loved as well. I also thought the action sequences and like the anxiety factor was top notch. It was like it was hitting all the time. From the second the mission started, the opening sequence is a bit of a throwaway. I thought that was a little bit corny with like the Snicker wrapper and all that.
Yeah.
But starting with the family on the sailboat, from that point forward, the action sequence was hitting. I had like anxiety the whole time. I was like stressed. I was like, shit. Yeah, all of that, like all of the action sequences in the rest of the movie were top notch. I thought the visual aesthetics of where the location was done really well. So there's a lot of great moments from an action-packed standpoint, and I thought they did some really good nods to all the things you want to see. The sound score with the Brachiosaurus was great. Obviously, you have to have T-Rex in here in some capacity, and they did that great. So there's a lot of great callbacks to all the other movies and all the things that you want to see in a movie like this that I thought they did a great job with. I will say, to your point, I think when they introduced Jurassic World with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, I think they did a better job of establishing those characters in this first movie that made you like them. Well, for me, again, my perspective, made you like them immediately. Like, Bryce Dallas Howard was annoying, and like between the the interactions with Chris Pratt, like became a very, very likable couple, very likable character right off. I feel like they didn't get enough time to develop the characters in this one. Like, it felt like maybe they spent... I don't know how they could have done it better. Maybe it's just I'm being biased because I've seen a restart of the series before without any of our legacy characters, and I thought Chris Pratt did such a great job in that iteration. I feel like the main characters in this fell a little short. Like, you didn't have the same, like, excitement and empathy. Obviously, I didn't want old dude to die at the end, but that would have been a big mistake as far as killing him off. But I didn't have the same connection to the main characters in this reboot, so to speak. It's not a reboot, but this iteration that I did in the Chris Pratt version. So, I don't know how you can, to your point though, I don't know how you can go beyond this. I feel like we are tapped out. We did all the things. We did the mutants now. Like, I don't know how this can go beyond that without feeling like now they're just pushing the envelope of what's even believable. I think they like hit this is it, this is the line. So I'd be curious to see how they can continue to explore this, if that's even in their intention. But I do feel like it was a very creative and grounded decision to explore this portion of Jurassic World. And I think the science of it all makes sense, and the direction they went with this worked. And all in all, I found the movie super entertaining. I enjoyed it all the way through, outside of the end. I didn't love the end. And I thought it was super cute. I'll just add this last thought. You know, the classic, them driving away from the drama, and you always see a regular animal that's on Earth. Like, you see the storks flying when they're in the helicopter. This time we had dolphins, regular dolphins that makes us feel safe. So I thought that was a cute nod to all of them too. So all in all, I'm so glad I got to see it. I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of flaws in it, but again, I think for the most part they stuck the landing, and I had fun watching it all the way through.
Yep. All right, well, look, thank you guys again for watching another Real Talk movie reaction chosen by you guys. This one was Jurassic World Rebirth. And until next time, people.